Is Jack Grealish as good as we think he is? Is Jadon Sancho as good as we think he is?
No.
Is that the problem then?
Basically, the drop-off from him hasn't come from he's played every game but just can't score.
Yeah.
The drop-off from him has come because he's not starting.
Yeah, agreed.
But if the team aren't playing well, it's up to Mo Salah to change that. Mo Salah is a player that is supposed to take you to victories that maybe you don't deserve. Has he really?
No, I think you just need to call it what it is. He's
Droppably dreadful.
Yeah.
Is he droppable?
Absolutely.
What's happening, everyone, and welcome to 888 Sport. Please do us a massive favour before you do anything else and click subscribe. Today we have a massive debate coming your way, and joining me to help me go through this huge question is none other than Flex, Oladipo, and Abbi Songs. Today we are going to be ranking the most underperforming, letdown footballers that there are in the league. I'm going to give you 5 names of footballers who have not been living up to the expectation. I need you to rank it from the worst, being number 1, down to number 5, who is letting their team down, but not to the extent of the others. The players that I would like you to rank are Grealish, Sancho, Sterling, Salah, and Son. Step to it. Abbi, you set?
It's because I kept writing them down
everybody?
and I had to reorder them
Yeah.
Okay.
to remember.
On 3, 2, 1, spin your board. Okay, Addy and I are similar.
all of us are the same.
I think
Apart from Flex.
I've got
Flex is not.
Salah, Son, Sancho.
You've got Grealish
no, I've
third.
I've got Son
You've got
and Grealish,
Sancho
not the other way
third.
around.
So we're fairly
We're quite-
in sync.
He's not much in it.
Dirty pub.
Not much. Everyone's got Sterling at the bottom, haven't they?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Everyone's got Sterling at the bottom and everyone's got Salah at the top.
Yeah.
Yes.
So then
Yeah.
it's just
Has everyone got Son second?
I have,
Yes.
yeah.
I've got Son third. I've got Grealish second.
So you were expecting more from Grealish than Heung-min Son like this season off the back of what happened last season?
Because to me, Son is Son, so he's just kind of always scoring. Grealish, I'm like, I don't know if it's a personal thing, 100 M's, average last season. They've won the league now, you've settled, you're going to have an amazing season. I'm expecting big things. Son, I was just expecting him to just be Son.
I was expecting Son to do it again.
Yeah.
You know, I was expecting.
You could argue it's a bigger drop-off.
He's done it for the last 5 seasons. I expected similar.
In terms of this fight, Flex, we have to come up with a unanimous decision.
No.
Are you
I'm
happy
with
to
that.
put Son?
I'm happy with that, because if you're looking at it like he's the one that I suppose the drop-off has been the biggest because he's been so consistent.
What did he get last season? 23 Premier League goals.
23, so same as Salah.
And he's got 3 this
Yeah.
season so far.
Yeah,
But-
and we're practically a third of the way through.
Yeah.
Practically.
Yeah. But I can see the argument for Grealish because if you're taking money into it, that's why it's also Salah for me is also top because of the contract.
Yeah.
I think my expectations for Grealish are just not as much as what they should
Because
be.
he's just not that good.
I just not, yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't think
He's overrated.
But I also think you know if you're debating Grealish versus Sancho, if that becomes where do we place these, I totally agree that neither have been particularly inspiring this season. But I think Grealish has had a better
I agree.
season than Sancho so far.
I think
Just,
Grealish is almost lucky that Haaland's there to make it look like a better season where he's not had that much highlight or spotlight on him.
I think that's probably true, but we can only deal with the facts. Like, you are probably right. It's easier to look better at Man City. It's easier to play well at Man City. Man City win more games than Manchester United. Therefore, it's easier to get away with it. But he is getting away with it for whatever reason, and therefore...
The problem for me with Grealish is that Sterling's gone and he's still being benched. Like, that was right. Sterling was there last season and that was the fight between Grealish and Sterling.
Yeah.
You know when you've underperformed, where Sterling's left the club and you're still not guaranteed that left side berth.
And I suppose to add to that and make it even worse for Grealish, Jesus has left, and I know that Jesus wasn't in direct competition, but Jesus is one of the 3 up front. Sometimes he would play on the right anyway, and he's now not there either. And still,
And for the first third of the season, to be fair to Sancho, and he's rightly so on this list, I've been underwhelmed by him this year. And it's his time in general, because the first year you'll give him that, and he's flattered to deceive for large parts of this year. But he started off all right. He got like 3 in the first 5 games. You know, was winning us games, contributing, a couple of assists. He was doing okay. But then the back end of this first third of the season, he's just gone quiet again, and it's that inconsistency. So he does deserve to
do you
be
know
on
what,
here.
Flex? Do you think that we've been a bit harsh on Sancho here? Just to ask the question, should
New
it not?
manager.
Should it not be Sancho? If we're going to talk about a Manchester United player letting the side down, should we have actually put Cristiano Ronaldo on this?
The thing is with Cristiano Ronaldo is that the manager has never seen him as the starter. He hasn't been starting games. He's not the main guy anymore.
But the reason
he's let
for
the
that-
side down with his actions earlier on in the season. That's not like basically the drop off from him hasn't come from he's played every game but just can't score.
Yeah.
The drop off from him has come because he's not starting.
Yeah, agreed.
No, but do we not have to take into account the reason that he's not starting? And arguably, the reason he's not starting is because of his poxy conduct in the summer when he was flirting with any club that would have him, and therefore he wasn't part of Ten Hag's plans because he wasn't on the summer tour.
I don't think he was ever going to be part of Ten Hag's plans, to be fair. I think they kept him more from a commercial aspect.
I think Ten Hag already made his mind up and obviously had to deal with that because Ronaldo's there and that Martial and other players were going to be his mainstream.
Say what you say about Ronaldo. So what you want to say about Ronaldo. If he started 11 games, he's scoring. I just know he's scoring because the history tells me he scores.
Yeah.
He scored, 24 last season? With
I agree.
Awful United side, so he would perform.
But Sancho, when you're looking at that, you're looking at this is the season he's going to, he's Ten Hag.
And the manager,
Do you know what I mean?
He teases you, Sancho. That goal against Liverpool, quality, he teases you.
That's what I mean.
You don't
He's had
see
little
it
glimmers. So rightly so, but that's why he's quite far down on the list. That's why I've actually got him fourth.
Yeah, with Sancho, this was the season. Firstly, it was the second season off the settling in season. And it did feel like, when Erik Ten Hag, remember when we were talking about what manager's going to come into Manchester United?
Yeah.
There was talk of Pochettino, there was talk of various others. The Ten Hag appointment, it felt like that was done almost with players like Sancho in mind.
Yeah.
He would have been one of the top of his list. Rashford the same in terms of, and he's actually playing a lot better now, still not being clinical in front of goal, but playing better now. There's a bunch of players there that you think that's perfect for Ten Hag. And I 100% agree with you. That's why he deserves to be on this list.
Another reason as well, Anthony. Anthony's come, and it's just boom, immediately, straight
But it's
away.
his guy, though.
Intensity, he's direct, he's
That's his
angry.
guy.
That's his guy, isn't it? But he's come and showed you similar what you can do on the other side
I
of
think
the wing.
Jadon's thing is he is going through bad confidence, but it's also the willingness to just play with intensity, to play out of that rut. You've got a nice touch, you're silky on the ball, you've got a good football understanding, you understand where to be.
It's not enough.
It's just that thrust.
Do you know what's interesting about this list? I think there are 3 players on this list where the quality can't be explored. Mohamed Salah is not having a good season, but he has been unplayable for 6, and therefore the credit is so in the bank. The quality will come back, I'm sure.
Is he? Will it though?
But there's 3.
Will it though?
I'd say that it's.
I'm asking a general question.
That's what. Do you know what I was about to say there, Flex? Right. I reckon that there's 3 players. You go Salah, Son, Sterling. The talent is there. Are we overestimating? Is Jack Grealish as good as we think he is? Is Jadon Sancho as good as we think he is?
No.
Is that the problem then? Should they be on this list at all, or are we expecting more?
The reason they're on their list is because one costs 75, one costs.
That's not their fault.
It's not their fault.
That's not their fault.
Unfortunately, it is.
No, they come.
You wouldn't put James Ward-Prowse on this list, would you? Because he's not good enough to.
They come with they come with prestige because they've shown, when Grealish was at Villa, you can see there's ability there. Don't get me wrong, he was the main man, and it is different. I had my reservations about him going to sit in the first place. Sancho, when he was at Dortmund, he was balling out, he's playing well, frightening Champions League games, doing it.
Goals as well.
You know what I mean? There's enough mileage in their tanks to look at them and say, them taking another step up, right, they've got to be in there.
Two of the biggest teams in world football.
Exactly. So I don't think, to answer, I don't think it's unfair. Okay. What I do want to talk about is Mohamed Salah. If you look at players, right, if you look at players who have signed big contracts, will the willy, won't he kind of thing, Aubameyang, David De Gea, Mo Salah. You've seen it where players have signed and it just wasn't quite the same. I'm not saying he's done and dusted. I'm asking you, as a Liverpool fan, and you guys at home, have we seen the best of Mo Salah? Is it only downwards from here?
No, of course not. The whole team's flat. Everyone is underperforming for Liverpool, not just Mo Salah. If it literally was him creating chances and missing chances and everyone else was playing fantastically well, then maybe so. But every single person...
So will he get back to scoring 30 goals a season again in this new contract?
Yeah. Because history says so.
Do you know? I agree with you there, Addy. I agree with you there, Addy.
I see what you're trying to do there. Nice.
I'm asking.
Do you know the problem?
I'm asking a question.
Yeah.
Why
didn't you ask it about Son?
The problem is.
Okay.
The problem is with that theory is I think that he'll come back. But when you're saying the whole team are playing badly, his responsibility as a senior pro, one of the best players at the club, one of the best players in the world, the guy that's got the new contract, his responsibility is to change the trajectory of the team. So, if the team aren't playing well and you're Harvey Elliott, you go, well, the team aren't playing well and I'm young and I'm developing. But if the team aren't playing well, it's up to Mo Salah to change that. Mo Salah is a player that is supposed to take you to victories that maybe you don't deserve.
Surely he can only do so much. One
hasn't
player
done
can't
anything.
make a whole team, can it?
No,
I know what you mean.
they
He was
can
so good.
sometimes, they can.
But I know what you mean.
So-
We do need a bit more.
Rory's right, he hasn't
individual-
done anything.
No, you need a bit more individual brilliance from him.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, we need that from him.
Is
And I
that
think
gone
we
now?
saw
That's what I mean, that
No, I
reliance.
think we saw that in Spurs. We saw that
Man
against
City.
City.
I was
Saw that
gonna
against
say,
Man City. He
because
needs to be doing the
And I
Man
know you.
City.
I know you'll laugh
Stepped
against the
up in
team,
a
but we
big
saw
moment.
a 6-minute hat trick against Rangers. I know, but it's still Champions.
And then we
League
saw him against Forest.
Oh.
Nice.
So there's been no. So what I'm saying is, it's that inconsistency.
Yeah, no, it is inconsistent.
Before it was just straight.
The fact is, he's got 3
no,
Premier League.
I'm not. I'm just saying.
No,
I'm
you
being
are
honest.
correct. I can't even argue with you. You are correct.
But this is not just a Salah thing. This is something that is happening across, all of the top clubs. Everyone, probably aside from maybe Arsenal at the minute, is very, very inconsistent. They are. And that's probably an effect of having this World Cup right bang in the middle of the season. A lot of fatigue, 2-3 games a week, especially if you're
condensed
playing European football. And I think that does take a toll on players.
Yeah, I agree, but you're completely correct, but it's excusable. And I think that the players that
And
we're
I think he
debating
misses
here...
his sparring partner as well, Mane.
Mane.
I think he misses him. He misses him. That front three is now done, isn't it, obviously? Firmino's coming in and out of the team. I think he misses that connection that he had with Mane and Firmino, and it's now done.
This has all been very polite. In terms of this list... No, I mean, it's
Sometimes
great.
it can just be
refreshing. So we haven't discussed Raheem Sterling at all.
Yeah.
I would actually say that it's quite harsh to put him on the list at all.
What?
How so?
Because I don't think he's been in the top 5 underperforming players.
Who would you have put on there ahead of him?
I would have probably put Darwin Nunes.
Darwin Nunes coming to a new country.
Getting that heat.
Coming to a new country.
100 million.
I know what you mean, but he's only started three Premier League.
Why is that?
Because he wasn't good enough and one got sent off.
Oh.
Sterling.
So he's underperformed.
Sterling knows the Premier
he's
League.
underperformed
Sterling has played in this Premier League for 9 seasons.
New Chelsea team, sacked the manager,
nine seasons.
loads of
He
changes
knows
going
everyone.
on.
He's got 2 goals. 2 goals so far.
But Chelsea aren't
it's
performing.
It's just not good enough.
But Chelsea aren't performing, just like Liverpool aren't.
Yeah, but it's not good. I expect Sterling, because again, Salah, Son, Sterling.
But Sterling's never actually been
perform.
that guy of terms of high amount of goals of carrying the team. I love Sterling. I think he's absolutely fantastic.
Sterling, 4 seasons in a row.
But he's never been
goals
Salah
plus.
levels. Never been
but he
Salah
got 20
levels.
goals plus. He's not 30 goal man, but he's 20 goals plus and assist.
In a Man
Sterling
City
in the
team,
last
though.
5 games,
Yeah.
nothing.
In the
But
Man
in the
City
City
team.
team.
Look at Chelsea now.
Overall, Raheem Sterling isn't playing badly. Like, he isn't. Maybe he's not living up
playing
to
mediocre.
your expectation. He's scoring goals for us. Like, this 2 goals thing is weird because I can remember as an individual game where he got 2. So it's obviously like deflections going on or whatever else.
I can remember when Stone got 3 and 1.
What about Trent then?
Trent has, I think, more of an argument to be on.
Could he be on there?
Maybe so.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Should be.
Trent should
I didn't make the list.
So really, we could add if we
do
wanted
5
to.
Liverpool
We
players.
could do Darwin and Trent, but obviously we're not going to do that.
But Raheem Sterling, look, I don't mind having the conversation about him, but it does feel harsh. It does feel particularly harsh. So we have all got him bottom, haven't we?
Fabinho's been on the bench a lot as well.
Fabinho, mate, Virgil van Dijk's definitely the drop-off.
Oh my God.
Big drop.
Virgil van Dijk.
One second, should we write Maguire on this?
Don't play anymore.
No, he's rubbish. He's never underperforming.
Virgil van Dijk's been lauded as one of the best ever Premier League centre-backs.
He is, and right now he's not performing very well. We can have that here.
I think I'm correct in saying that the list reads, Mohamed Salah is the most underperforming footballer in the Premier League at the moment. Heung-min Son. Son, it feels weird putting him so highly considering how good he's been, Is that fair, Abby?
Yeah, no, he needs to be second. He's been dreadful.
Has he really?
No, I think you just need to call it what it is. He's
Droppably dreadful.
Yeah.
Is he droppable?
Absolutely. Like, Kulusevski should never have been dropped for Richarlison in the first place. It should have been Son. And I understand why Conte didn't do it. Son comes across as a sensitive guy. He wouldn't probably take that very well. So I think that, unfortunately, Kulusevski lost out for absolutely no reason, and we're seeing the repercussions of not having Kulusevski in the side. And Son got that game against Leicester, was benched, came on, proved a little bit of a point, but hasn't gone on to kind of regain any of that form. And to be fair, Harry Kane is banging form, to be fair. It's just, without the partnership, there's just no creativity. There's not much going on for
Spurs
Tottenham.
then?
So 1
If
second.
it's
So
not
why
Son,
is
it's
Salah
Richarlison.
out of interest above Son? Just based on what she just said.
Yeah.
And also because Salah also
And he's just
has
signed a massive new
bumper
deal.
contract.
Like, stop
Son-
trying to
So
get
it's about money
Salah.
now.
It's about
Salah,
everything.
money and-
it's
It's
about
about
money
everything.
versus expectation versus
Just a better
investment
football.
versus
Is that what it is?
Just about
better football.
football.
Okay, I'll take
Yeah,
it.
just about
Who's
football.
underperforming, that's why he's top.
So with Son,
better than
are
anything,
you confident that he will recover?
Yeah, I do think he
You
will
seeing
recover.
signs of it?
No, I'm not seeing any signs of anything at the moment with Tottenham, to be fair. But I think that, as we say about Salah, will he probably have another good season or towards the end of the season? Yes. I think that the way Spurs are playing at the moment doesn't help. I think the injuries don't help either. So I think maybe second half of the season, which is going to feel like a whole new season in itself after the World Cup, I would expect Son to get some form. But I think a lot of it is down to fatigue.
You know what's crazy about this? Like the fact that Son's been benched and been discussed and being dropped. regardless of how bad Salah is, I just expect him to come good. There's no way he's being dropped. All the front line could be fit. Salah's never coming at the team.
Yeah, but it'd be the same,
that's
but
right,
that would be the same conversation as Kane. You wouldn't drop Kane.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the same. That's the same comparison. You wouldn't take Harry Kane out.
don't like
Son's
that
been right
principle.
there alongside Kane, though.
He has,
they're both they're the most deadliest duo that we've seen, numbers-wise, in the Premier League.
I'd rather not drop either.
Yeah.
But I think that if you were having that argument again, Son is still not performing well, and you had Richarlison, Kulusevski, and Kane all fit.
Richarlison
I would
not
never
there.
drop. I would never ever drop Kulusevski. I absolutely would not.
So Son is correct at second, but you're confident he'll recover.
I do think he will recover. It won't be a season like he had last year, but I do think he will.
There's no way he can score that hat-trick and not do something like that again.
What,
all
like Mo
goals.
Salah done against Rangers and then didn't...
Like Leicester, that was a bit different.
There we go.
One second. That's what you're doing here. You've been brought on this show to do the Man United Liverpool thing, haven't you?
Hey,
That's what you've been brought
I'm just saying, the comparison that you're drawing is quite like Son, actually. We didn't hear from him. Then he plays against a subpar Rangers, who was awful. They were awful, Dog and Duck FC.
It's funny,
and he won 7-1.
It's funny what
right?
he's saying because he would beg to have Son or Salah. To have Son or Salah at United on the right and left, you would give
Rory,
everything.
have we not been
got a lot
past
of
by
energy.
looking
You would
at
give
the players this season
everything.
who's underperforming?
That's exactly
would
the
get
task.
every- he would get
That is
everything.
exactly
I'm
the
only
task.
going off what Salah's shown me this year.
He is playing by the rules.
That's all I'm doing.
Right, I
This
think...
kind of Salah out of form, would you still have him at your club on the right?
No, I've got Anthony. I've got Anthony.
Clip that bit.
I'm going in a new direction.
Don't try the camera now.
Why are you trying to give me your stuff?
I'm just trying to say.
So you're saying you would
We're going
rather
in
take
direction.
Anthony
I
over
want
Salah?
Anthony. We're going in.
Anthony over
Into
Salah.
a straight face.
What? Yeah.
You know,
I've got Anthony. I'm happy with Anthony. What's wrong with that?
It's like when they get a few.
He's more
wins,
productive
their
than
head
Salah
should
right now.
Right. That is the final list. We have got Mohamed Salah as the most underperforming footballer in the league currently. Heung-min Son is second. Jack Grealish is third. Jadon Sancho fourth. And weirdly, Raheem Sterling is fifth. Thank you all for watching this video. I hope that you've enjoyed it. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And please do us a favour. Click subscribe and we'll see you all on the next video. We're out.
Thank you, as always, for watching. I thought Salah being number one on this list was a bit harsh, but it is what it is. As always, outvoted by these so-called football fans. Next week, we're doing the top 5 most influential signings of the season so far. Should be fun.
It should be. There could have been loads of Liverpool on that list, just to clear that
There
up.
could have been loads of Tottenham, but we had no expectation. That's why there weren't loads of Tottenham on that list. Make sure you like, subscribe, leave a comment. Thank you very much.